going on, guys? Long time no see. Here in a 2008 Ford Edge, and I'm just going to show you how to do a blower motor. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do is, trust me on this, this glove box is only held in by 3 snaps on the bottom. If you feel across the bottom, you can feel them. Just wiggle back and forth a little bit. And it's not really, you got to pull out towards you like this. Go from here and pull out. Don't try to push down or anything like that. Pull out, because the snaps are right across the back here. Next, this is the area where your blower is at. Okay. A couple things. You really don't have to pull this off, but I was going to show while we're here, if your blower is blowing weak and it's not blowing very hard on these Fords, take this off. It's got one little clip over here, and it'll pop back, and then it slides out over here. So I've seen some with filters in here. This one happens to have a screen. Some of them have screens. This screen, this is nasty. There's a hole in it. I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, these screens get really dirty. That's where your air blows through, and that's the reason sometimes on these Fords it doesn't want to blow out of the dash. It might not even be anything to do with your blower motor. It might just be the screen's plugged up. You can take this and clean it. If you have one of these, this one's going to be replaced, but you can clean it up to get all, it looks like it kind of looks like a filter for your central unit in your house. It's full of crap and it needs to be replaced, and that'll take the obstruction away and your air will blow harder through the vents. All right, guys, trying to get a little light down here further. Next, we're gonna have to get this panel off. Okay, you got 2 pops. Right there is one, and then there's one right over here. All right, guys, so on these clips, you just got 2 of them. Maybe get a screwdriver. They make a tool for this, but I don't happen to have one here. Not in this toolbox I got here. There's another one. You can't really see it, but there's 2 of them. The other one is right, well, close enough. Just like the other one, take a screwdriver, pop them off. That's gonna bring this down. All right, there's your 2 pops. Take this and put it out of the way. All right, guys, now it's down to the beef of it. All right, this is interesting on this this type of blower motor. On you got 2 different options. You got a Torx bit size that looks around a T25 that you can use, but just to make things easier, sorry if that messed up the volume, 8mm socket or 5/16 will work too. I'm just going to go ahead and use that because that's more than likely easier for you to grab, unless you happen to have some Torx bits laying around. And it looks like we only got 3 bolts here, so let's go through them. What I'm going to do before I get them all pulled out is you also have your connector right here. It looks like all you have to do is push in your thumb over here, and be careful pulling. Don't pull on the wires. Try to pull on the connector so you don't pull the wires out of the connector, and that'll pop right out. And now I will just grab these other screws. And there it goes. Comes right out, 3 bolts. That's it. Always one good thing to do with this kind of stuff, I'm telling you, you need to do this more than ever now, is aftermarket stuff. Make sure it looks the same before you ever try to go back with it. See, this one actually has a connector that comes off with a pigtail. This one does not. They do that on some of the models to prevent electrical issues that are caused from being connected right there. Some of the Chevrolet models have it. Some of the Fords have it. If you might know of some others if you've done more of these than I have. But here we go. Let's go back with it. All right, guys, don't want to get dark on us here. Easy way to know to put it in. You got this, looking on the camera, you got this stop right here, and it goes up in the hole that's closest to your left here. Make sure you get your connector out of the way, down out of the way, put this one up in the hole, and then stick it right in there. And I was gonna see if it was gonna sit there, but it won't. So, and I think you guys might be able to figure it out from here. All right, now you just take your connector here and plug it up, and then you could zip tie it up if you want. Really, this panel is going to be laying right up underneath here, so I mean, I'm not really worried about it, honestly. If there was a good spot to zip tie it, really there ain't. I mean, you could run it back this way, tuck it up in there. That's probably how I'll go with it, just to keep your pigs out of the way, as long as it ain't hitting nothing. The main thing to watch out for here that I could say of, like, if you don't do a lot of this stuff, is when you're on the plastic with these metal bolts, be careful. Can you see me? Let's see here. It's like this one. All right, so like, you know, when you're tightening these up, when you get up there and it's getting flush, just stop. You don't have to keep going on and on. If you use a cordless, I was looking for my cordless 1/4-inch ratchet to use. I couldn't find it. Well, I didn't feel like looking around for it, so I just used a regular ratchet. But if you use one of those to take this off, when you go to put them back up, be careful how hard you torque them, because you don't want to strip out these holes with the bolt, with the screw into the plastic, because they'll strip right out. And you don't want to do that. You only got 3 of them on this unit, so. All right, it's starting to get dark on me here, guys. I apologize. But now that you got it screwed in, you got that pigtail set, just take your panel. There's a little lip back there to put the back end of it on. And I would just make sure you got this out of the way where the pigtail goes. And it's not going anywhere, so you don't really, if you want to zip tie it, you can. I'm not really worried about it. Then you got the 2 little snaps, one there, one there. Hopefully you guys can see all of that. I'm not sure how good left. I don't got much sunlight left, so I'm in the dark here. All right, then you put your screen back in. It'll tell you which end to put in first. It'll say on there, you know, install this end first, this side up, what have you. All right, get your new screen in there. Replace your panel. Make sure the foam is still on there facing the right way to give it a good seal. Pop it in the right side, snap it in the left side. And pretty much the only thing left to do is to pop your glove box back on. Oh man. Put your snaps in. And it, you know, it kind of snaps in there. All you gotta do is check and feel. I lost, make sure it snapped in all the way. Lost some information out of the glove box there. Looks like it's all good to go, and you'll be able to tell this. There's a little snap on this right side that you kind of just got to go over the plastic with. And I'm sorry, the end of this video is kind of dark, but that's pretty much it. Then, of course, one good thing you want to do is make sure that it's working. And I guess I could have mentioned that before. While you got it apart and you got it hooked up, don't put your glove box on yet. Make sure it's working, and it's working great. And really, guys, I was going to start when I do these videos, tell you what tools I was using, but this one's simple enough. 8mm or 5/16, 1/4-inch, and 1/4-inch ratchet. Also, if you want to throw a screwdriver in there to pop the little rivets out, that's pretty much it. Anyways, one other thing I'd like to add. If you're going to test the blower motor, and I thought of this kind of as a safety thing, if you're going to test the blower motor before if you're going to test the blower motor before putting it back in all the way, make sure you mount it in before you test it, because if you do happen to test it with it laying on the ground, it's going to take off on you and start spinning around and mess everything up. Mainly, you just want to make sure that if you want to make sure it's working, at least mount it back in before you turn it on. Always make sure the power is off to the fan. No exceptions. That's pretty much it. That can be a safety issue, and you don't want to mess up your blower motor. Mine was like 60 to 70 bucks, something like that. So, that being said, you guys take care. See you next time.